So 4 years ago, we started this channel to document our process of getting a truck and a fifth wheel and finding a remote job.
So that we could full-time travel in that RV.
Yeah. So there's been some gaps in our channel, things that we haven't been able to talk about.
We can now.
Yeah, now we can. So, where to start? So we had a 1-ton crew cab, long bed dually
Most
truck.
of you guys, if you've been around for a while, you know him as Brutus.
Yep, the boys named him Brutus. We were in Golden, Colorado, and we were 1 week away from ordering our 398M.
We had pretty much set all of the details.
Signed all the stuff.
Pretty much
the
everything.
Final paperwork. We'd signed everything. We had signed off on the order because we were custom ordering it, just like we custom ordered our truck.
Yep.
And I was in conversation at the job that I was in to move to that full-time position, and I was on my way to sign the papers that night because it was an overnight job, and that's when everything changed.
Yeah, everything changed.
So I was driving to work. I was hit head-on over a blind hill by a lady who was driving in the wrong lane with her lights off, more than twice the legal limit of alcohol in her system, multiple narcotics in her system, and she had been texting people earlier in the day that she was done living. So unfortunately, I was the
casualty. Brutus was the casualty.
So she hit me so hard that it broke the motor off the mounts, broke the transmission off the mount, broke the front axle, broke the front drive shaft, broke the transfer case, broke the rear drive shaft, shoved the rear axle 1 foot, or is like 14 inches to the driver's side. Truck's destroyed.
Sorry, my arm's dying. I don't know how you vloggers do this.
The EMS come and get me, put me on a flat board, neck brace and all of that. At this point, I can't move my arms, I can't move my legs, can't feel anything. They are, I'm in an ambulance, but they're flying basically to the hospital as fast as they can to get me to the ER. So on the way to the ER, the lady asked me if there's anybody that needs to be notified, and so I told her who to find. I told her to find Kelly on my phone and call it.
So when Jeremy got to the hospital, but they wouldn't let me go back until he was fully admitted. I actually got to the hospital just a few minutes before his ambulance did because I was a lot closer. Where we were located at my mom's house. The hospital was literally just down the street, the one they were taking him to. And when I walked into his hospital room, this is what I walked into.
Yeah, we didn't really film much for many reasons.
At the time, it was, for me, I don't always think to pick the camera up. I wish to some extent that I had, just to document what we had been through and the amazing recovery that Jeremy has had a little bit better. But yeah, that was not the first thing on my mind. The photo, I have it only because I sent the picture to family and friends to ask for prayer. That is the only reason I have that picture.
So my concern is we just had Jefferson like weeks before this, and not being able to move and not being able to feel anything is devastating. I mean, I love my boys and I love holding them and I love playing with them and rolling around on the floor with them, and
sports are huge for Jeremy.
Riding bikes and camping and kayaking and all of that. And then just individually, I played softball. I played adult league softball and flag football and just a bunch of other sports. And
Love to be active.
Yeah. So everything running through my mind at that point is it's done. So the doctors are, pinching my feet, smacking my feet, hitting me on the shins with whatever it is they use to do that, trying to see if there's any sensation at all, see if there's anything at all. Nothing's happening. They sent me in for a CAT scan. They sent me in for a what's the one with the dye? They shoot the dye in your blood, and
MRI.
yeah, MRI with the dye. That stuff's weird and it tastes horrible. And then they did multiple X-rays, whole body X-rays. And then at that point they let Kelly come in, and then she had Jefferson with her, who was still nursing, because we didn't know how long we were going to be in there. So
yeah, thankfully, that night my mom had been in town because she usually would stay up at her condo during most of that time of the year, and she was at the house and was able to stay with the older boys because it was obviously overnight still. But I had brought the baby with because he was nursing. So,
yeah. Come back into the room, still can't feel anything, still can't move. About 20 or 30 minutes later, they start to get the readings coming in, and they're starting to get the readings coming in, and they think it's that my spine's been compressed enough that my spine is crushing my nerves, and that there's so much pain that I just can't feel anything because I'm just in so much pain. So
basically shock for your nerves.
So they measured me in the ER after that, and they measured me at 5'10". And if you know me or anything about that, I'm actually 6'2". So yeah, my spine was severely compressed and crushing my nerves. And so what they did is they slowly started, I guess it's traction or whatever. And about 30 minutes into it, a lot of my spine released slowly, and I could start to feel what they were doing to my legs and my arms, and I could start to feel in my legs and toes again. And so at that point, I knew I was going to be fine. But at the same time, when they released that pressure and the adrenaline had started to subside,
that was when you started feeling the pain.
That's when I started to feel pain, and I knew it was going to be a long journey and possibly having to deal with pain for the rest of my life. So they gave me, they asked if I wanted narcotics. I told them no. So they gave me a mixture of ibuprofen, or whatever the medical grade of that is, and Tylenol, whatever the medical grades of those are. And they said they could mix them, and it gives the same effects as narcotics without the after effects and without the possible addiction. And I said I wanted to go that direction because a lot of people with back pain and neck pain, it's lifelong, and I didn't want the chance of building an addiction. That just destroys everything. So that's what they did. They got me to the point where they started manipulating my legs and arms and feet. And while it was painful, I knew that, this is the way it's going to be. I'm going to have to figure out a way to suck it up and deal with pain. But I got to start moving. Because if I don't start moving, the chances of continued movement, it's just not going to happen. So, but after they got me moving around okay, where I could stand on my own, they ended up releasing me in the next day. Or no, they told me to go home and basically sleep and don't move for 48 hours. And then they had an appointment scheduled with a spinal specialist on that second day. So
they took more tests, and because a lot of inflammation had gotten down since then, more damage in the spine showed up on those MRIs. And
yeah, the specialist was really not happy that they released me before the swelling went down and they could actually see the extent of the damage.
Sorry.
But it is what it is. The specialist made plans of how to deal with it. They eventually got me stretched back out to 6'2" again. So I feel tall again. But got all of the spine stuff off of my nerves. I still have some nerve. I have a lot of nerve damage, but
Yeah.
multiple fractures in the neck, multiple fractures, herniation, and ruptures in the middle back. L1 through L5 completely ruptured. My S1 through S5 completely ruptured.
If you guys have been following along lately, you may have noticed that I've been doing all the heavy lifting. Like on our bike rack video, I'm the one putting all of the bikes on. And while yes, it does show that a 5'2" woman can put a grown adult man's bike on this rack, that's not the only reason that I was the one lifting and doing everything for that video and pretty much everything else that we do. Jeremy had not been cleared to do any lifting at that point. So
yeah, they basically let me do my own body weight. And what's funny is the physical therapist, their plan for me was to ride a stationary bike. It was to do a recumbent bike and do some rowing, and then to do stair climber, and then to walk. And that's funny because if you watch our channel, that's exactly what we do. We ride bikes, we kayak, we hike, and we walk. So it works out perfectly that I'm able to continue my physical therapy even after I've been cleared past body weight. I'm able to keep continuing to do what we do as a family and love it. I just have to be very careful.
We had to get back into it really slowly. And we did short trips at first. We're still doing short trips, which works out really well because our boys can handle short trips much better than the longer ones.
So yeah, they've cleared me past body weight. They say it's time to start rebuilding core muscles and all of that. So that's
the core
difficult. It's rough going, but I'm going very slow on purpose. They offered to go in and burn the nerves off. They offered narcotics, just a standing prescription. They've offered a lot of pain solutions that just cover the pain.
Yeah, basically we're at the pain management point.
So I told him no, for one reason alone is at my age, being 36, if I don't feel pain, more than likely I'm not going to stop and realize it, and I'm going to cause way more damage. So on the bad days, I'll take the same concoction of the ibuprofen and Tylenol.
And then we also use essential oils.
Yeah, and that's a nerve block. And I'll use that on the bad days, but I need to feel when I need to stop. That way I don't cause any more damage to me. Whether it's just doing regular things or whether it's doing something at camp or whether we're going out on an activity or an adventure. I need to know when to stop so I can stop, so there's no further damage caused. And so just kind of ignoring the pain. It's still there. It's still really, really bad, but
there's days when I look at him and I say, your back's hurting today, isn't it? Because he's not the type to complain. He's not the type to dwell on his discomfort. But just if you know anybody who deals with chronic pain, you just know that sometimes their demeanor changes a little bit. And it's harder to deal when you have that kind of pain.
So that's what's happened. That's what we couldn't talk about because of the crash and because of all of the legal stuff with that. So we've been waiting on insurance for over 2 years. Can't replace the truck. It's gone for good. Having another truck is not an option. At that point, Brutus was our only vehicle, and we bought Black Betty. The boys have named our 4Runner.
So Black Betty has a third row seat, and that allows all of us to fit inside the car at the same time.
Well, that's when COVID hit. And so we made the run from Colorado. We got out of the state, hours of them shutting it down, and made our way to Tennessee to a friend's house. And as we were there, got a new job because the old job is they had to fill the seat right away. With what I do, they've got to have somebody there 24/7. If somebody's not there, then the company doesn't function. So they had to fill that seat. So that job was gone. Lost that opportunity. Found a new remote opportunity. And that job was drastically lower paying.
Yeah.
So the truck and the fifth wheel started to slip away. And we made a plan that, well, we have Black Betty, we have a tent, we have sleeping bags, we can buy a little electric heater, we have a tarp. Let's just take off and start camping for a little while. I have a laptop to do my job on the road. I have a way to have internet, and let's just go see if this is even something we want to do, or if we just want to give that dream up, find a house, build a tiny house, build a regular house, and move on.
At that time, we weren't ready to give up. We didn't want to sign a lease. We didn't want to go and try to buy a house. We really wanted to be able to keep moving forward towards this dream. It felt like that was the right thing to be doing. And at the time, like Jeremy said, we still thought we were going to be getting the fifth wheel. We still thought we were going to go ahead and get a truck at some point. Careful.
Stupid fire ants.
But you know, life has a way of changing, and
often,
and God has a way of showing you that your dreams and that your plans aren't always what the end result is going to be.
What's best for you.
What's best for you. And
so we took off in Black Betty and we started camping. We started staying around in state parks on the East Coast and loved it. Absolutely loved it. The amount of family time we were getting. The boys absolutely love camping. We had the bikes with us and the kayaks with us, so we're riding bikes everywhere, we're kayaking everywhere, we're walking every day. We're basically living outside.
Yeah.
And so the boys are just loving it. Kelly and I are loving the family time, the me being there, but also being able to be active and whatever we're doing.
Be present.
So we're loving this lifestyle. So now we're looking at, okay, maybe there's a different solution.
We're also realizing that the trailer that we currently have is not working. I mean, it gets our stuff from point A to point B, but that's not functional. And
it's not an off-road trailer.
It's not an off-road trailer. It's not holding up well. We are not abusing it on purpose.
No, it's not being abused at all. It's a 4-inch drop axle on the trailer, and we go on OHV roads, and we go very slow. We're never above 10 or 15 miles an hour, so we're not doing anything wrong to the trailer. We're going slow. We're stacking rocks where we need to. We're doing all these things, but
it's a highway trailer.
It's a highway trailer. So we start looking at, okay, well, Timberin makes a plus 4-inch lift, axle-less axle. So that would actually lift our trailer from a 4-inch drop to a 4-inch lift. It would give us an 8-inch lift on the trailer, and I'd be able to run this. I'd be able to match the wheels and tires that are on the 4Runner. And so, okay, that looks good. Let's go that direction. The problem with that is the rest of the trailer is still built for highway, and it's not built for off-road. So
we'd have to do a whole lot to it to make it more durable. And that was when we realized maybe we should just go find something that is already built to do what we want to do.
So we started doing our research, and as a family of 6, we found Opus and the OP4. It actually sleeps 6. It's an off-road trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It's
got the air beams or whatever they're called.
Yeah, it's a pop-up, but it's air, and it'll blow up in 90 seconds.
They're really cool.
Yeah, really cool. So we decided that's what we were going to do. Saved our money again. Contacted a dealer. His name's Lauren with X-Grid.
Yep.
Excellent guy, by the way.
Love working with him.
Contacted him. He said, hey, there's an outdoor adventure expo in Salt Lake City. So we met Lauren at the show, and he was walking us over to the Opus dealer. because he was our guy that we were buying from, and so he's walking us over to the Opus booth so that we could see the Opus for the second time, but this time fully opened up, and we could walk in and sit and lay on the beds and check everything.
Yeah.
And we were going to buy the Opus on site. We were going to buy it at the show and be done with it.
Yeah, we had the cash ready to go, and that was our plan.
Yeah.
We were totally on board.
On the way to the booth,
we saw another booth.
We saw a different booth. And, well, that was Expedition Trailers.
Yep.
And they're going to have a trailer for us here in the next 20-ish days. It's going to be a custom built one. But it is a square drop. But you have to understand, the owner of the company, he is also the owner of Arctic Industries, who does all the skid plates, all of the heavy duty ruggedness that you put under Jeeps and Tacomas and 4Runners and whatever. I mean, this stuff is very stout.
Everybody, yeah.
So he's the guy building this trailer. Well,
you can tell.
Yeah, you can absolutely tell. And you can tell when you look at the frame. This frame is extremely beefy.
Everything about it's beefy.
Yeah, I mean it is a true off-road trailer. It could easily take some really heavy abuse. So we start talking to Expedition Trailers, and it's a square drop, so there's room inside for Kelly and I. The whole back's a kitchen.
It has a storage closet on the front.
Yep.
And a rack on top that holds
our 87 Walkabout, actually on the roof rack of the trailer. And it has our 270 awning that we bought. Well, guess what? That goes on there too. So
yep,
we can park somewhere, leave the trailer as a base camp, and we could take Black Betty and go and enjoy the 4-wheel drive, go run errands, refill the water, refill food, whatever. We're extremely excited about that. The progress with my back is I'm still doing physical therapy, still in a lot of pain, still have to be very careful about what we're doing. I still don't lift much. I do lift, not quickly, and I definitely don't twist. But I can hold my 2-year-old again, as long as he's not too wiggly.
So not for long.
So yes, not for long. But I can do that, and that's huge for me. That's huge for us. That's huge for him.
Yeah.
So this is where we are. Our channel is going to look very different now.
I feel like this past 2 years we've kind of just been in survival mode. Yeah, we've done some awesome family adventures, and it's been great being on the road. But I feel like, at least channel wise, I had a really hard time picking up the camera when we couldn't explain everything that was going on. I felt like we were being maybe dishonest to some extent. Not that we were trying to be, because we were trying to be as open and upfront with you guys as possible. This channel we started to document our family and to document our lives, and I felt like we weren't able to do that. Not really with what was truly going on.
So this channel started out as this is us. This is our life. This is our lifestyle.
And I'm glad and I'm excited to be able to get back to that.
Yeah, now that everything's been finalized and released and signed and all that garbage, we can talk about it to an extent. But yeah, this is our lifestyle. This is full time. We are full time traveling, overlanding. That's what we do. We're never in a hurry. We have destinations in mind, of course, just like everybody else. We have friends to see. We have family to see. Places we want to see. Absolutely. And we'll get there. Our goal, when we really break it down and think about it, was more family time, the freedom to go and do whatever it is we wanted to do whenever we wanted to do it, at whatever pace we wanted to do it at. This is the update. We needed to do this. We wanted to talk about it. Couldn't talk about it. But this is us. This is us moving forward. We're excited. All of you guys that have stuck with us through this really weird and awkward time.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah. We'll hopefully see you on the road. If we don't see you on the road,
leave us a comment. Say hi. We want to get to know you guys. We really do enjoy meeting more of this community and getting to know all of you guys. It's definitely one of our favorite things that we were not expecting about YouTube. So
we're going to keep documenting. And maybe there's a bunch of you guys out there like us. Life's tough. Speed bumps happen on the way to your goal. Maybe you've had some life-changing events too.
We want to be able to encourage you guys to keep pressing forward, to keep working towards your dreams, whatever those dreams are, be it full-time travel or whatever else is out there for you.
Sometimes it takes a longer time. Sometimes there's some rough times, and sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. But don't give up.
Sometimes your dreams change a little bit, and you learn what the dream truly was. So
we'll see you guys in the next video. We're on to the next adventure.